For the second year in a row, I was honored to be a guest at the Southeast Game Exchange. And just like last year, we turned the trip into a family vacation. What's going on, everybody? I'm Jay. Welcome to Square Pegs. And this is the Summer of Sega. This is what I've been pursuing all year. But something new happened at this show, and it has led to me beginning a new pursuit and something that is going to be an ongoing quest. And if you want to see what that is, you're going to have to stay tuned to the end of the video. We're going to recap the trip down to South Carolina and North Carolina. In fact, that's where we're going to kick things off, because I was able to go to the Limited Run Games retail store in Cary, North Carolina. And while I am not necessarily the biggest fan of Limited Run Games, the retail location was actually pretty cool. The employees at the retail location were excellent. They were incredibly helpful. They actually looked for some stuff that my wife was looking for and found some in back stock and back. We were able to purchase it. It was a great experience. I will be recapping the stuff I picked up at the end of the video, but rest assured, I did pick up some good stuff there. But we also got to spend some time with family, which was amazing. But we headed down to South Carolina on Friday, and we were able to go to the pre-show party at Pinky's Revenge, which is an amazing barcade. On our way into Pinky's Revenge for the pre-show party here at Southeast Game Exchange. Looking forward to seeing some folks. And he's here. It's Game Dad. Hey, it's Thor. Hey, it's Meredith. Hey, it's Victor. It was super cool because Victor was allowed to go. We were able to go in and play some games. We ate some good food. Unfortunately, Victor hurt his wrist when he was playing a game. He actually kind of popped the tendon in his wrist. But there was something awesome that happened there, because the absolutely incomparably brilliant Lacey Johnson was playing a set. And if you don't know the Guitar Queen, take a look. So not only was this an amazing show, she was incredible, absolutely ridiculously talented, but it was amazing for me as a father to sit there and watch Victor just light up as she kept playing song after song after song that he adored and loved and just enjoyed endlessly. It was a wonderful experience. And to be there with not only my family, but amongst friends, I saw a bunch of people there. It was really a great experience. I wish we could have stayed longer, but it was South Carolina, and there's no air conditioning at Pinky's Revenge, so you can imagine exactly how hot and how humid it was inside. But we hung out for a little while, and we went over to an ice cream shop with Chris and Thor and Biddy Kong's Quest, and we just had a great old time. I'm afraid I have some bad news for John Riggs. They have Superman ice cream. But the next day was the main event itself. It was Southeast Game Exchange, and we ended up showing up. We showed up a little bit early because VIP entrance was at 9:15 a.m., so we got there around 8:45. And let me tell you, folks, this show was ridiculous. Welcome to the 2024 Southeast Game Exchange here in beautiful and humid Greenville, South Carolina. Very excited to once again be a guest here at SEGE. It's such a great show. It's such a great experience. All the people here are wonderful. Austin runs an unbelievable convention. And it's just great. There's so many people here from the YouTube community and the gaming community. Like, the show is like legitimately twice as big as last year. We're walking the entire length of the show right now, so you can see exactly how large this is. I just hit the halfway point. That's what's happening right now. And you see here as I'm walking the show floor, you can see exactly how big it is. It's actually about 3 times bigger than last year. Austin was being a little bit coy. Austin's the founder of the show. He was being a little bit coy and saying it was only twice as big as last year, but it was a massive, massive show floor. And the neat thing about being where we were in the convention center, we were upstairs this year as opposed to downstairs. We had the bigger room, and all the panel rooms were built in, so no one actually had to leave the show floor. You could just go to the panels and have fun there. The free play area was on the floor as well. It was great. It was truly one of the biggest shows I've ever been to. Absolutely massive. And to be amongst people that I care about and to be able to hang out with people that I love is always a bonus, and that's the best part of these shows. Oh, Neo Geo Pocket. NGP color stuff. That's cool. Biomotor Unitron, not something serious, and just all of the Nintendo powers. Are there any Sega Ages? Does not look that way. It's always fun to see A bin of Dreamcast. That is not something you see every day. And a couple of things here I am looking for. All right. Now, I know I say a lot on these videos. This is not something you see every day, but I am telling you, this is something you don't see every day. When's the last time you saw a Jeffrey the Giraffe costume at a convention? That's absolutely spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. All right, so one of the constants that people always ask me is, Jay, why do you spend money on sports games when they're sports games? Well, it's because I love sports games. And from Matt's Game Exchange, I just picked up Super Baseball 2020 on the Sega Genesis. Half of what I was looking to pay for it. $5 on this game, books for 10. I'm a happy camper right now.
Jay,
yes?
Do you know what this is?
I think that's the last game you need in your Wii U collection.
This is the last game I need to complete the Wii U collection. And he said I could have it for free and everything.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. I was standing here. That is not true. I'm sorry. Look, I will enable you. I will not participate in thievery. It's always gratifying
and your professional opinion,
when you see something you worked on at a show. Just it's been 20 years, but I still appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my God! It's Pac-Man Case.
Hi, Andy.
What's up, gentlemen?
Hi, Andy.
Welcome. You guys are like, whoa. You know what this reminds me of? You know, like the
I saw that movie.
Cameras. Like, oh, I know. That's my favorite. Like the 3D cameras where it's two.
Oh yeah.
So
here, let's go stereoscopic.
If you guys take your footage together. I'm gonna come out of the
So yeah, here at the Video Game Cavern, where the wonderful Pac-Man Case works, and yeah, there's some goodies in there. Thank you, Andy. I am proud of my sack. It's a wonderful sack.
You have the most beautiful sack.
I do, and I love to display it for everyone to see. Makes me wish Tom and Lacey were here. One of my favorite random things about this show is that we worship fire extinguishers in Greenville, South Carolina. All hail the extinguisher! So I just met Nolan North.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god!
And it was like the coolest thing ever. I also got to be a judge, which I didn't expect. I was a judge for the independent game competition that they had at SEGE. There was competitions for both tabletop and video games this year, and I was able to be one of the 3 judges between myself, Chris from the Game Dad Show, and John from Biddy Kong's Quest. We reviewed each game and we played each one. And we talked to the designers and got their opinions on the games and their background on where they were coming from and what their design decisions were and what they wanted to do with it. And it was really cool. And I'm really proud of the games that we chose. The amazing Tiny Kingdoms was a fantastic RTS that you can wishlist on Steam. It's also on itch.io. You can sign up on their website as well to play the demos there. And for me, who is an old school tabletop gamer, and to be able to find something that wasn't just a rehash of some classic tropes, and every game we played that was tabletop was brilliant, but to find something like Sunrise Mecha Knight, which was just such a clever take on what a tabletop game can be and was put together by an incredible team, it was inspiring to play. It was inspiring to see how excited they were about their artistic pursuit and the work that they were doing. And there was no question from any of us that this was the #1 game as far as tabletop goes. It was an absolutely brilliant game. I've got some footage playing here as well that you can see. Just a clever use of modular mechanics and aggressively impressive design decisions that I was truly, truly inspired by and enjoyed. You know, I do love walking around a convention, but it's always better when I get to walk around with the person I love. Hi. Hi. So is there anything you're looking for today, honey bun?
No, I'm going to keep my eyes closed so I don't spend money.
Oh, that's probably for the best.
Yeah.
That right there is Austin. He's the founder of the show. He's awesome. I'm not going to interrupt him, though, because he is a very busy man.
Wait, I found something to look at. Oh, darn it, I opened my eyes.
What did you see?
I want to look at the map.
Okay, let's look at the mats. Is there anything you're looking for? You're looking for a Zelda one?
Oh, always. Like I said, I should just keep my eyes closed. That's
It's okay that you don't keep your eyes closed. We're at a convention. This money doesn't count, as I always say. Now, I believe you said you're not even going to buy any earrings on this trip.
I know. Don't walk me past an earring booth and we'll be fine.
I'm going to walk you past every earring booth just to see what happens.
This con is huge.
It's legitimately twice as big as last year.
Yeah, well, people are saying 3 times as big.
I could see that.
Like, I think this part is as big as MGC.
Oh yeah, as big as their vendor hall, absolutely.
Maybe.
This is my friend Andy, aka Pac-Man Case, doing work. Andy works at the Video Game Cavern here in Greenville. He does a lot of their social media. He's awesome. So last year, if you were at SEGE, you know I was on a panel with G to the Next Level. We talked about our favorite Sega RPGs, a manufacturer that's not frequently thought of as an RPG powerhouse, but we were able to do a panel last year, and I was able to be on his panel this year, which was an amazing, amazing experience. It was Name That Retro Video Game Tune. We had 1-second clips of music to try to figure out what the games were, and it was predictably awesome because G is just an unbelievable dude, and we were able to really have something amazing go down here. And here's some footage from the panel so you can see what's going on. Once more, G?
One more? Yeah.
Dude!
See, I want to give him one Doom. Because I'm just like, this is a dear one for me, so I don't want to give him this.
I don't know which one.
All right, ready?
No.
3, 2, 1. I can't count that. I appreciate your gum check. I can't count that. John is correct. It is Outrun. Master Sound Shower.
This is a Hail, 100% Hail Mary on this one.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
I got it.
Depends on the question whether or not you'll get the point for that. All right, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, Kirby.
Oh, Sound of Silence. I know this one. This is Simon and Garfunkel. Yeah, so being on a panel with JRPG Life and the Gabs 24 and John Riggs is an honor in and of itself, but to be there and have it hosted by G was amazing because he's just such a wonderful guy. And it was so much fun. I was very proud of myself to come in second place. I didn't expect it. It was a lot of fun. And it was just a great experience top to bottom. Now, before I get to the pickups, I want to thank some of the people I saw at this show. It was amazing to be able to see my friends, as it always is. Like, we live across the country from each other. We're scattered to the winds. And to be able to see John Riggs and Chris from the Game Debt Show, I mean, he's right down the street. He doesn't really count. But and Thor and John from Biddy Kong's Quest was amazing. They are kind of my original crew, parts of the original crew at least. And it's always a treat to be able to spend time with them and to just, break bread with my friends. It's always a bonus. And we got to see Retro Rob, and we got to meet his entire family, which was so cool. His kids are great. His wife is amazing. Awesome to meet you. Thank you so much for being there and for tolerating our idiocy. I think is probably the best word. Idiocy is the right word. There are 3 people in particular that I see at so many conventions. And because we see each other all the time, I always forget to ask to take pictures with them. And I really kind of hate that I do that. But to Jared and Eric from Retro Gaming Pandemic, and to the absolutely brilliant and wonderful and sweet as candy Gamer Aimer, I love you guys. I'm sorry I never remember to take a damn picture with you guys, but it is just, there's just so much going on, and I just forget about it, and I apologize. You guys are some of my favorite people, and I always appreciate being able to spend time with you and to see you guys. So thank you so much for being you. Thank you so much for just being friends. It's amazing. Some other people that I saw that I did not get to take a picture with. I saw RNG Gamer from afar. Every time I was about to talk to him, he was always wheeling and dealing to talk to people, so I didn't get a chance to actually hang out with him, and I regret that, but we'll see each other at shows down the road. And Arkansas Picker, I got to see you. We talked for a couple of seconds, but we didn't get a picture together or get to spend enough time together, and I apologize for that as well. He's just such a good guy. He's just such a down-to-earth dude, and I really appreciate not only his channel, which I really enjoy, but just his attitude towards life in general. He's such just a straight shooting down to earth dude. I can't tell you how much I appreciate him. Other folks I saw this trip that I didn't get pictures with. Let's see. There was Screech from Retro Car Collector, who was, I couldn't believe I got to meet him. It was amazing. I really enjoy his channel. And when he introduced himself, I was like, why is that name familiar? It's not clicking in here for some reason because my brain is addled. And it was so cool to get to meet him and to be able to talk to him and to see his excitement in person. Just his genuineness was just so ridiculously wonderful. I got to see Mort briefly and talk to him. It was amazing. We've talked briefly about some future plans. Hopefully for next year, there's going to be something going on, and I'm really looking forward to the possibility of that. At the very least, is going to be huge. And he's just such a dear person and such a wonderful friend that I regret not spending more time with him. But he was always in motion, and I wasn't. Bryce JW, it was really awesome to meet Bryce. Bryce, you're a great friend. It was so nice to meet you in person, and just so many other folks as well. I mean, the highlight for me, of course, was meeting Nolan North. If you don't know who Nolan North is the voice of not only Deadpool, but also my favorite video game character, Nathan Drake. And he was also one of the driving forces behind me becoming a voice actor, because his portrayal of Nate Drake was just so important and so near and dear to me that I wanted to pursue it, and I missed acting. And to be able to do that with Geek by Night because of what Nolan North did as Nate Drake was a huge honor to me. And to be able to talk to him and to find out we actually had stuff in common, like beyond just the fact that we're both voice actors, but to be able to talk about home, being both of us from New England, it was just amazing. And like, he knew the places I was talking about. I knew the places he was talking about. It was a nice little slice of life to be able to speak to someone that I knew, that I didn't know, but to be able to speak to someone that knew where I was from. It was really amazing. I got to see some viewers. It was really awesome. But then there were all the people I did get pictures with, and we're going to rifle through those real quick because there's a bunch. I got to meet Pac-Man Case, and Andy was just such a wonderful dude. You've already seen him on the video, but Andy is someone I've been talking to for a few years, and I was really hoping to meet him last year at SEGE, but just didn't work out that way. He had something to do across the country, but I was able to meet him this year, and it was just a wonderful experience. I got to meet Edward Payson, the director of the Rarity documentaries for video game collections, as well as talk to him about, again, kind of like with Nolan North, talk to him about home, because he's from New England as well. So we got to talk about some stuff there. We talked about our love of cryptids briefly. It was really cool. I finally got to meet the incomparable Saturn Steve, who is just a wonderful human being and just such great energy and such positivity and just such a wonderful, down-to-earth, kind human being. It was wonderful to finally meet him. We kept missing each other last year, so to do so this year was a huge honor. And I, of course, got to see Matt Retro Wolf, one of my favorite people. He's a brilliant guy, makes fantastic videos, and I love it when he vends, because it's always nice to see him kind of in action, because he's just a good person. I got to see Paul from Owazram. I didn't get a picture with Paul. Paul was always busy every time I went by his booth. We talked for like 2 minutes the entire weekend. Paul's just such a nice guy, and I really enjoy his channel, and I wish more people had eyes on it, because he does such great video game and toy content that I wish more people would pay attention to his stuff, because it's just wonderful. Got to see Thomas from Millennial Collector Ohio. I've said this before, Thomas is one of the good ones. He was kind of stuck behind some folks for a while and wasn't able to have his own voice, and I'm so glad that he's now set out on his own and he's doing his own content and making his own way. It's a wonderful occurrence when you see good things happen to good people, and Thomas is a good person. Always a joy to see Nintendo and Big John. Well, Big John for the first time, but Nintendo is someone who I happily consider Drew a friend. And John is just such a good dude. And John and I have been talking online for a little over a year now. So to actually get to meet here at SEGE was a wonderful thing. He's just such a cool dude, full of life, just honestly gregarious, and it's wonderful to experience. Josh from Drinking Games with Josh, and I say this a lot about Josh, but if you like my content, you need to subscribe to Josh, because you will love Josh's work as well. He is one of the most honest voices in the retro gaming community. He likes what he likes unapologetically. He dislikes what he dislikes unapologetically. His content is always fun. He pairs a beer with like every video he does. He is such a great guy, and he is just literally one of the kindest, nicest people I know, and it was awesome to be able to spend time with him. And then I got to meet Riff from Pixel Game Squad, and it was crazy to me, because it's always weird that people who are incredibly successful on YouTube know what my channel is. Always surprises me. And the fact that Riff knew who I was and was excited to talk to me is just something that's not lost on me, and something that I can't really put down or kind of overlook, because I always say that when someone knows who I am is an honor, and it's an appreciative thing, because I'm just a guy talking right here. I'm just talking into a camera about games that I like. And when people enjoy it, it means the world to me. And when people that I respect and I admire, like Riff, like the work I do, it means I'm doing something right. When people like John Riggs, John Hancock, Riff, Mort, my peers like Gary from Rock Solid, Chris from Game Dad Show, Scott and Jen from Retro Rivals, when they like the work I do, that means so much to me, because if my peers are enjoying it, that means I'm doing something right. And for Riff to know who I was, and for us to talk briefly about SoCal Game Expo, and just for him to say he liked my work and to tell me to keep doing what I was doing, it was 10 seconds of his time, but it really did mean the world to me at this show, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. that's all that. Let's get back to what we are really here for from a video game convention recap, the pickups. All right, going to start things off with the pickups from Limited Run Game Retail. Up first, the employees, like I said, were amazing, and they gave us some freebies. They gave us these awesome opening day cards from Limited Run Games. Now, if you ever buy anything from Limited Run, you know they come with trading cards, and these were ones from the grand opening of the retail location. So I thought that was pretty cool for them to provide those. They didn't have to. We didn't ask for them. They just said, hey, it's really cool that you guys are here all the way from Michigan. Have something free. It was appreciated. I want to thank my wife for giving me permission to get these because I wasn't going to. I was kind of waffling on it, but she told me to pull the trigger and get some Monster in My Pocket trading cards, which are, if you don't know Monster in My Pocket, it is not only one of my favorite NES games, it's one of my favorite toy lines from the 1980s. They had trading cards, and the trading cards are awesome. It's like amazing artwork. There, you can take a look at it this way. Just amazing artwork on them and just super cool. Like, it's just such a flashback to the 1980s for me being able to buy these cards because this was my life. Like baseball cards, hockey cards, Marvel cards. Do you guys remember the Marvel Fleer cards? Those were amazing, weren't they? Stuff like that. Just that's my childhood to me, is buying just idiotic trading cards and collecting them for no reason. But these were super cool. They had a bunch of old trading cards behind the register, and to get a pack of them and to be able to open a brand new pack of cards from 1991 was just super cool and really fun. We got some stickers, and stickers are always appreciated. We got a Limited Run retail sticker, as well as just a silver Limited Run square sticker, which is pretty neat. Again, while I'm not the biggest fan of Limited Run and their publishing arm, the retail store was really cool. It was actually really neat to see that they not only have their own products, but they actually had a bunch of retro games as well, which is super cool. Got a couple of pins for the pin board from Limited Run. We got this, that's still my face. We got this Limited Run cross pin, which I think is really neat. And one of my favorite games from Way Forward, this Mighty Switch Force pin, which I think is pretty awesome. There were also some games picked up at Limited Run, and this is one of the ones that I mentioned where the employees actually went to the back to see if they could find a copy of it. This is one Meredith was interested in. This is Broken Age. This was created by Double Fine. Double Fine does some of my favorite stuff, and I've never played Broken Age, and neither had she, but it looked interesting to her. She looked at the art book when she was there. She thought it looked cool, and she picked that one up. We also got Meredith Blossom Tales 2 on the Switch. We have Blossom Tales 1 digitally. She has played Blossom Tales 2, but she doesn't have it physically, so she's excited to have this one. I'm excited to have it as well because I mean, it's an awesome game. It's an awesome series. But the big one for me, and I'll have to back up a little bit so that I can show you this one off. You guys know how big of a Shantae fan. Ooh, what's going on with the blank shelf back there? Stay tuned in a couple of weeks and you'll find out. But I got the Shantae Risky's Revenge Collector's Edition. I was just super stoked to be able to pick this one up. I was hoping to find Pirate's Curse, but wasn't available. But Risky's Revenge was, so I was happy to get that one. That means I have 3 of the 5 Shantae games now physically on the Nintendo Switch. Gonna have to get the other 2 as well. Just wasn't in the cards this past week, and that's okay. All right, moving on to a couple of gifts. Well, one's a gift, one's a trade that's in progress, but this was a gift from Eric, who was the guy who told me about Power Quest last year and gave me a copy of it. And this is a complete in box copy of Skate on the PS3. I have had a loose copy for years, but he has a complete in box version here. And I just cannot tell you how much I appreciate him giving him to me. It was really, oh, and this is cool too. This, I actually forgot to put this away. This is Lacey's Guitar Queen Black Mage sticker, which I love. That's going on the Friends NES very soon. And yeah, just super cool to be able to get that. And then this is one for a trade I'm working out with John Riggs. I live in Kalamazoo, Michigan, which is right near Battle Creek, Michigan, which is, of course, the home of Kellogg's, and Kellogg's has a really awesome company store there. Anyone who knows John knows he is a big fan of cereal, and I am a big fan of Star Tropics, and John traded me this complete in-box copy of Zoda's Revenge, complete, if you can see this, with this Meyer refund sticker on the cellophane on the outside. Now, Meyer is a local store. It's a big box store. It's kind of like Michigan's Walmart here in, here in Michigan. And when he got this in his lot of games, I said, John, I need that because that's kind of like next level rental sticker for me. This is a Meyer return sticker using the old Meyer logo. Yes, I need that. And I didn't have Zoda's Revenge already, so happy to add this to the collection. And we're going to work out a trade with some cereal stuff from the Kellogg's company store. I'll probably be hanging on to that till we see him in Cleveland for the Cleveland Gaming Classic in September. That's the next convention I'll be at. So I'll be handing it off to him there, and you'll be able to see that stuff on his convention recap, I'm sure. Now let's talk about the games I picked up. It is, of course, the Summer of Sega. So yeah, we're starting off the Summer of Sega pickups with a Super Nintendo game. I picked this up from my friend Kevin. He's the Chicken Wings over on YouTube and on Instagram. And this is one he posted on Facebook that he picked up a lot of games. I saw this in there and I said, yep, need that. I'd like to buy that from you. I'd like to give you money dollars for it. And he was happy to take my money dollars. And it is Super Mario All-Stars and Super Mario World on one cartridge. I have both Super Mario All-Stars and I have Super Mario World, but I didn't have the multi-cart and I really wanted it because why wouldn't I? It's 4 games in one, 4 of the best games of all time in one. Yeah, had to have it. Okay, this one technically not a SEGE pickup, but it was delivered when I was at SEGE, so I'm counting it. This is Double Dragon Gaiden on the Switch. I haven't even played it yet. I don't even know if it's any good. It was on deep discount on Amazon for like $9 one day, so yeah, I pulled the trigger on it, figured, why not? I picked up another copy of Henry Hatsworth and the Puzzling Adventure. This will be a giveaway on the channel down the road. Probably around 15,000 subscribers. That's only like 1,600 subscribers away now, so at 15K, look for this to be given away. I picked up a Mega Man game I didn't have and didn't actually know existed. This is Mega Man ZX Advent, and I'm sure this is on the ZX collection that I have on the Switch, but I haven't really played that one too much. So to see this physically, to get it for under 20 bucks, yeah, I couldn't pass that one up. And super stoked to add this back to the collection. This is Justice League Heroes The Flash. Big fan of the full Justice League Heroes game. I think it's very underrated, and I think this is a nice companion piece to it. But all of that said, that's all the non-Sega stuff. We're now moving on to the Sega pickups, and we're going to stick with the GBA, and this is Sonic Advance 3. This is something I just recently started playing on emulator, and I saw this at the same place I picked up Justice League Heroes Flash, and I couldn't pass it up. Very excited to add it, very excited to have it. Picked up one Saturn game. I got this from Gamers for Gamers. If you don't know who Gamers for Gamers are, they are an amazing retailer. They do a lot of charity work as well, and they have incredible imports available for you to pick up. And this is Virtua Fighter Kids for the Sega Saturn. I've got a Japanese Saturn. Excited to add this one. I've never played this one, and it was nice and affordable. It was 20 bucks, so couldn't pass it up, and very, very stoked to add to the Saturn collection. Picked up a game for my Sega Master System, and this is one that I've been told I need to have, and that is Double Dragon. I've heard this is an excellent port. It's better than the NES port from what I've been told. I'll be the judge of that, but we're going to take a look at this one here down the road. We'll probably do a compare and contrast of the NES and Master System versions of Double Dragon to see how they match up. Now on to the Genesis pickups. I picked up 5 Genesis games. Super Baseball 2020, which is kind of remarkable to me that this is an SNK game published by Electronic Arts here in the States. Light Crusader, which is a really fun game that I first played on my Sega Genesis Mini. Batman Returns, a quality side-scrolling beat-em-up on the Genesis, starring the Caped Crusader, Michael Keaton versus Michelle Pfeiffer and Danny DeVito, the fight everybody wants. Sonic 3D Blast, which is something I've never actually played, but in my quest to collect all Sonic games, I needed to have it. And X-Men 2 The Clone Wars, which is just absolutely brilliant, and I picked this up after a reminder from my friend Aldo from the Norwalk Public Library live streams. If you have not subscribed to the Norwalk Public Library, you need to. Friday live streams of the Norwalk Public Library are amazing. And that's it. That's the whole thing. And oh, wait, hold on. You guys are probably wondering about that pursuit I mentioned at the start of the video, right? Well, I decided, and this might be foolish, this might be stupid, this might be idiotic, this might be a dumb pursuit, this might be something that a lot of folks think is a terrible thing to go after, but for me, I am, for one, ecstatic to have this console back in my collection, this handheld console back in my collection. I'm ecstatic to start collecting for it again, and I do think I am going to go for the entire North American set for the Neo Geo Pocket. Yeah, conspicuous by its absence is my Neo Geo Pocket Color. It's not because it's broken or anything like that. I actually was given a very wonderful offer from my friend Retro Rob to have it rescreened to make it nice and bright, as opposed to the non-backlit version that the Neo Geo Pocket Color currently is. So that will be coming back to me eventually in a beautiful state, and I can't wait to get it back because I'm going to be collecting for it in the meantime. And the first game I got... So, Andy.
What's up, dog?
Remember yesterday when I got that Neo Geo Pocket Color?
Yes.
And how excited I was?
Yeah.
Can I make a confession?
Yeah.
I forgot to buy a game.
Ah, do we have any?
You do. You have 4. So that's why I'm back. I meant to come back yesterday, and I was just like, I'm too embarrassed, but I have to fess up today.
On a console, you would have had some games with it.
I used to have one years ago, and I just lost it. It went on a walkabout. So yesterday relaunches it.
Okay.
Now the Neo Geo Pocket Color pursuit begins.
Okay.
Which is not a cheap pursuit.
Is that a real series? Because you should totally do that.
It might be. It might be.
Break the bank, but it has some gems in it.
Yes, it does.
What do I have in the case right now?
I'm going to get King of Fighters Round 2.
Ooh.
That one right there.
Ooh.
That is the first one back.
Dirty one, buddy.
Right there. The first step towards collecting everything for the North American Neo Geo Pocket Color set, all 34 games, is King of Fighters R2. Now, Why the Neo Geo Pocket Color? Why is that going to be my first complete North American set? Why am I going after it? If I'm being honest with you, it's because handheld gaming is something that I adore. It's something that I truly love. And it's something where I look at it and I look at the prices of the games, and yes, some of them are absolutely outlandish, but that's the case in almost every gaming collection. But when I look at what is there and the games that are offered, I want to play 90% of what's offered on that console. And that's a rare thing to say. Like, I couldn't say that about the NES. I couldn't say that about the Genesis. But I look at the Neo Geo Pocket Color, and yeah, that's full of games that I love. And I think that there's an opportunity here to actually get the whole set. On top of that, it's not going to take up a lot of room to get all 34 games. Here's one. Is itty bitty. I think it's something that's going to be pretty cool. And I'm looking forward to going after it. Am I going to complete it? I don't know. I might lose interest in this in 6 months and say, like, no, this is stupid. I shouldn't be doing this. But for now, this is the quest. This is the pursuit. This is the goal. And fingers crossed that it actually comes true. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about this. I want to thank Austin for the invite to Southeast Game Exchange. I want to thank him for putting on an unbelievable show. Him and his entire staff are top-notch. Greenville, South Carolina, and the surrounding area is a hotbed of video game activity. They are just remarkable. An absolutely magnificent, magnificent place. And I can't wait to go back. I said it on my Instagram post thanking Austin. I was thankful for last year. I was blown away by this year. And I am like legitimately excited about next year. I can't wait to go back. And I cannot wait to return to Greenville, South Carolina in 2025. Let me know in the comments down below if you were at SEGE. If we met and I didn't mention you, I apologize. There was a lot of activity this weekend, but please do sound off in the comments. I would love to say hi. I'd love to thank you for stopping by and saying hello. Like, Joe, you stopped by and said hello. I want to call you out specifically right now and say hi. It was wonderful to meet you. It was just so cool. Just such a great show. Such a great show. Let me know what you think about the Neo Geo Pocket Color Pursuit. Let me know if you think that's foolhardy or exciting or what you want to see happen, because I am really looking forward to it. This is it for SEGE 2024. Fantastic show. Chris, did you have a good time?
I had a good time, yes.
Victor is drinking cheer wine. I know he had a good time. Thor, did you have a good time? Big John, did you have a good time?
Yeah, I had a great time. It's been super fun.
Awesome. Meredith, did you have a good time? And so did I. Until next time, remember, play more games, stay square, and take care.